What's up, everybody? Welcome back inside the War Room. UFC Sacramento full card predictions and the betting breakdown. Me and Chris are in the building today to break it all down. This should be a really, really fun fight night. I'm looking forward to it. Before we get into the full breakdown of the card, make sure you hit that like button. It's a free action. It's the best way to support us. Just got to tap that like button, just like Chris is doing on there, I think is where I'm pointing.
My screen.
Yeah, just like he was doing there. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on those post notifications if you're enjoying what you're seeing. Chris, I think there's maybe 8 different fights that I highlighted here as potential bangers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exactly 8 on the dot that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, no, I mean, this should be a pretty solid card. It's kind of interesting because I feel like this card kind of just got thrown together. There's a lot of last minute additions to this, a dropout as well. But yeah, I think Sacramento is going to be in for a treat. I mean, there are some very good names on this list that I'm looking forward to. Couple Season 9 Contender Series guys and Marcio, Barbosa, Lerryan, Douglas. Those are 2 guys to watch out for. And yeah, I mean, the main event should be good. I mean, Fluffy's a very fun fighter just with the pace that he puts up. Robocop looks to take every single person's head off in the octagon. So I think we're in store for a finish in that main event. And we'll see. We'll also see RDR moving up to light heavyweight as well as Roman Dolidze. So that'll be really interesting to see how that plays out between 2 former middleweights. But yeah, I mean, it should be pretty solid. I do not think this will be a bad card. I think we'll be in store for some good fights, like you said.
100%. Let's get right into it. First fight of the night, Shanelle Dyer taking on Elise Reed. This is the Shanelle Dyer showcase. Plain and simple. She is bigger and hits harder. Reed's got okay kickboxing and solid footwork, but she's too tappy with her shots and keeps her hands low, which is exactly the kind of thing that gets you starched. Reed has never lost by decision, so I would bet the under here. I would bet Dyer KO. I think both of those props make sense. Dyer's obviously coming off a highlight reel debut, and the promotion is clearly building her for the UK market. I think she is not just going to win this fight. I think she is going to make a statement in this fight. I am taking Shanelle Dyer by KO. She is a legit prospect, man. She is a very legit prospect. So can't wait to see what she does here against Elise Reed.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Dyer KO is literally the best prop that you could take in this fight. I mean, she's damn near minus 1,000 currently, but yeah, I think Shanelle Dyer is better everywhere. Elise Reed, she does have great cardio. I'll give her that. You did mention she's never won or she's never lost by decision, which definitely will play into Dyer's game plan. Dyer hits like a truck on the feet. This might be an interesting comparison, but I honestly think she's going to be the next Amanda Lemos at women's strawweight.
That's a good call.
Just with the way she hits, I mean, you really got to steer clear of those hands. She also is a very solid grappler as well. Not offensively, but she does have good BJJ. Decent takedown defense. I mean, her fight with Carol Foro on Contender Series should show you how tough she is. She got knocked down 3 times and got a contract after a loss. Highlight reel finish over Ravena Oliveira. Yeah, she's just better everywhere here, and she's a very fun fighter to watch. So I think Dyer KO at right now plus 115 honestly is a lock. I'm saying it's a lock. I don't know how some of these girls can stand in front of her for too long without, trying to wrestle. And even if Elise Reed tries to wrestle, I think Dyer's technically sound in that department to fend that off and keep it on the feet and do her best work. So taking Shanelle Dyer by KO, I think it'll be easy.
Yeah, I like Shanelle by KO, and I also like Shanelle to win an under 1.5 at plus 125. I think that's also some good juice there. It's a minus 950 favorite. If you're grasping at straws to bet this one, I think those are your 2 best bets of the night. And probably what we'll be betting here in the War Room as well. Moving right along, Wes Schultz versus Jackson McVey. Chris, this is actually a rematch. Schultz already tapped McVey in 40 seconds as amateurs. Do you think he's going to do it again?
I cannot gauge a Wes Schultz fight to save my life. I thought he was going to use wrestling against Damian Pinas. He gets absolutely starched and basically acted as a guard puller for the majority of that fight, even though it only lasted a round. Jackson McVey, he's had kind of an up and down start to his UFC career. He's 1-2, lost to Zach Reese, lost to, was it Bruno Fajeda or Vitor
Yes.
Petrino?
Bruno Fajeda.
Bruno Fajeda. Yep. Lost to Bruno Fajeda.
Petrino's a heavyweight. I was about to say.
Yeah, no, I know. I kind of like loop them together for some reason. I have no idea why. I know they're both Brazilian, but just disregard that. And then he beat Serghei Dumas, so we're not putting that much stock into that win. However, Wes Schultz, he had an interesting last fight against Ben Johnston. He did win by submission. Ben Johnston was clearly the better striker, but wanted to wrestle. And Wes Schultz was an all-American wrestler in college, phenomenal high school wrestler as well. So in the wrestling department, I mean, he's clearly better than Jackson McVey. But what I've seen from Jackson McVey is, one, he's 100% the better striker in this matchup. Two, he's very quick to, press the matter on the feet. He loves starting fast. He loves getting fights out of there in the first round. His takedown defense is not good. That is the one thing that I'm very weary about in this fight. I'm going to take Jackson McVey. I'm going to take Jackson McVey by finish just because I think he has the clear advantage on the feet. But if Wes Schultz is able to get it to the ground, I know McVey has subs on his record and he can pull subs out of thin air. But if Schultz gets it to the ground, I'm going to feel not very confident in McVey's ability to, one, get up, and two, try and pull a sub off his back. I think McVey is just going to press Schultz from the starting bell and really just make him uncomfortable because, as I always say, and as you may know as a MMA fan, it's hard to wrestle off your back foot. And Wes Schultz is not comfortable on the feet. So if McVey can really press that matter ASAP, I think he'll have a very clear shot at winning this fight. I'm going to take McVey here. I feel like it's the right side, but Wes Schultz 100% has a path to victory if he just starts wrestling off rip. But yeah, we're going to take McVey here. I'm going to take McVey by knockout. I don't think he'll sub Wes Schultz, but finish line will probably be around even. I'm going to check that while Shrikar makes his pick, but that is my pick.
I'm going to go with Wes Schultz by submission. I think he's going to do it again. McVey's striking, especially in the clinch and on the inside, is legit good, but his takedown defense is still a giant question mark. And a win over Serghei Dumas doesn't tell you much since Dumas gave up in that fight anyway. Schultz is a sworn grappling menace who's never been submitted, and has underrated pop on the feet. I mean, in that Ben Johnston fight, he was cracking Ben Johnston at some points. If McVey shoots or gets dragged into a scramble, Schultz finds the neck. I think he's going to get it done inside 2 rounds. I'm picking Wes Schultz by submission. And if I'm playing anything, I'm just going to play the money line underdog here at plus 145 on Wes Schultz. Party time. I think he's going to get it done by sub in the rematch. But is there any prop that you were looking towards on the McVey side that's catching your eye here?
It is not available on DraftKings currently.
Yeah, I was seeing that.
The under is 1.5 at minus 188. So I think that's kind of telling us that this should be a quick fight. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stick with Jackson McVey finish. I really think this is a toss up. I think it can go either way. I would take Wes Schultz, but I've been burned too many times. So, and I think Ben Johnston had that fight in the bag. He just had very poor fight IQ. So I think their last fights are pretty hard to gauge where they're currently at. But winning the first fight definitely helps Wes Schultz's case.
Fair enough. I respect the pick. Moving along, Gage Young versus Stan Dorsainvil, the newcomer. I'm going to go Gage Young by decision, sticking with UFC experience here. Young's fought a real gauntlet already. Evan Elder, Mahashata, Thiago Moises, and even in a loss to Quillen Salkeld, he made it competitive. Dorsainvil is a talented BJJ black belt, okay, with, a nasty 76-inch reach and real power stepping in on short notice, but he's only 6 pro fights deep against nobody close to Young's level of competition. Young's boxing and ability to close range should let him weather the early pressure from Dorsainvil, then just start touching him up and taking over as the fight goes on. So I'm going to trust the veteran here. I'm going to go with Gage Young. For a specific bet, I like Gage Young to win and over 1.5 at plus 105. His money line right now is minus 162. You could definitely play it down. I think the fight will go over 1.5. I'm not expecting an early finish here, so over 1.5, Gage Young. I think you'll get it done on the scorecards, and you're getting the over 1.5 at plus 105. I think that's great value, double or nothing odds on this one.
Yeah, that's actually a great prop. I do enjoy that at plus money. But yeah, I'm also going to side with Gage Young here. He really has fought some tough competition in the UFC, and even his loss against Evan Elder. One, Evan Elder is his teammate. Two, I think it was on short notice. Could be wrong. Regardless, he was fighting a teammate in his debut, so they know each other well. Evan Elder's not a bad fighter in his own right. But yeah, Gage Young is tough as hell, man. I mean, he throws bombs on the feet. He can wrestle a little bit too. Dorsainvil, very solid grappler, but he has pop. He has pop in his hands. And one thing is, Gage Young cuts pretty easily. He gets bloody quick. So if Dorsainvil is able to, land a few early shots, open up a few cuts on Gage Young, that might sway the fight in a way that we're not going to want to see. But I think UFC experience is definitely the side to be on here. I don't think Dorsainvil is going to get outright outclassed, but him being 5-0 and this being his first real spotlight definitely not hurts his case, but it's definitely not to his advantage. Fighting a guy, especially like Gage Young, who's going to be, balls to the wall from start to finish. He just keeps coming at you and he wants to finish the fight. So yeah, I think Gage Young here is a good pick. But he's going to have to be weary because, like I said, Dorsainvil definitely has pop on the feet. Like, he has solid kicks, a good straight. So Gage is going to have to be weary, but I've never seen Gage Young back down from a fight, so I don't think he's going to care too much about that. But we'll see how the fight goes. Even if it gets into the grappling or wrestling department, I think Gage is versatile enough to hold his own to get it back to the feet. But yeah, Gage Young over 1.5 at plus money. I think that's a pretty good option for this fight.
100%, man. Moving right along, Marcio Barbosa versus Ryan Kuse. Chris, this is a brutal spot for Kuse.
Dude, what are we doing here? Props to Ryan Kuse for getting on a UFC card, getting the UFC spotlight. Marcio Barbosa is going to absolutely slime him out in under half a round. I used my under half a round prop for this fight. I have it once a card. I noticed that I actually have picked that, I think, once a card. Marcio Barbosa is electric on the feet. He can do it anywhere. He has solid defensive grappling, but he doesn't need to use it. He literally just wings punches. And it's not like they're just being winged from the hip and he's trying to find the chin. No, they're all calculated. These are calculated punches that he is throwing. His knockout over no, it wasn't Julian Erosa. Was it Julian Erosa?
Dennis Buzukja.
Dennis Buzukja, yeah. Okay. The next guy we're going to talk about, knocked out Julian Erosa. He killed Dennis Buzukja in the octagon. He killed him. It was crazy. He has immense power in his hands for a featherweight. He has lights out power. Kuse he's pretty big. He's big and brolic, and he looks a lot bigger than 145. He's muscular. He's strong, and he does have power in his hands as well. But against a calculated fighter like Barbosa, I think he's going to make him look silly. I really do. I think he's going to try and draw Kuse into throwing big shots, ducking under them, and then just absolutely unleashing hell on his chin. I really do. So Marcio Barbosa under half a round. That is my pick. Or Marcio Barbosa in the first round. Whatever you want to take. I'll be a little greedy with the under half a round pick, but Yeah, Barbosa is going to be a guy to watch out for in the future.
Yeah, I'm going Marcio by KO. Kuse is more of a bantamweight, stepping up to face a featherweight assassin. Barbosa, 18-2 with 15 first-round knockout wins. He's a heavy-handed, pressure-based Muay Thai striker with nasty hooks and uppercuts that come in bunches, plus heavy leg kicks. Kuse is fast and looked good on Contender Series and in bare knuckle, but the power and experience gap here is massive. I think we are going to see a first-round finish. And again, I'm going to take Marcio by KO. On the betting side, I'll probably stay away from this one. It's pretty chalked. I just don't think the value is as good. So this might be one that I skip on the betting side. I'm just going to enjoy watching Marcio get this first-round KO. But yeah, both of us on the side of Marcio Barbosa, who is a legit good prospect, man. He is good. He is a good prospect. Up the card we go. Chris Padilla versus Nasrat Haqparast. I'm going to go Taco Padilla by decision. I think this is a genuine coin flip fight. One of the best scraps on the card. You know, Padilla's pressure, high guard, dirty inside elbows. It's just a good style matchup against the volume boxing and the combo striking of Haqparast. Obviously, Haqparast is coming off a brutal head kick knockout loss to Quillen Salkilled 9 months ago, and it's fair to wonder what that did to his chin and his confidence. Padilla's got an underrated ground game, heavy ground and pound. That's also in play if things get ugly and close. I think we're going to see a back and forth battle that Padilla edges late with volume and body work. Again, I'm going to say Taco Padilla gets it done on the scorecards. I think he gets it done by decision. In terms of the best bet for this fight, it is the Taco Padilla money line at double or nothing odds. He continually cashes in as an underdog. You bet your ass we are going to bet Taco Padilla as an underdog once again. He's going to come through. So yeah, going to go Taco Padilla by decision in this one.
Yeah, Taco Padilla money line is good enough for me, especially at plus odds. Honestly, might change some more of a pick 'em, so you might want to get that one in a little early. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Nasrat is coming off one of the most brutal KOs in UFC history. I mean, he was lifeless on the ground for 5 minutes. Like you said, you don't know what that can do to him, especially, you know, his style of fighting. You know, like you said again, good combo striker, kickboxer, you know, liked to engage, but now after that happens to you, do we see a more tentative Nasrat Haqparast? Do we see him kind of pitter-pattering on the outside and really trying to pick his shots rather than going into the fire and trying to actually find it? I think we see a more tentative Nasrat. And Taco Padilla, his pressure is insane. He just melts you. He gets you up against the fence, dirty on the inside, good, very good boxing, solid in the clinch. And that just wears on you in the fight. Like there's only so much you can take backing up, especially when you're taking damage. And if Nasrat isn't able to hold the center of the octagon, his chances of winning this fight go down dramatically. And Taco Padilla is not the guy to give up the center of the octagon. He wants to be the one on the gas pedal and really pressing the issue of trying to finish you. I mean, even in his last fight against Markel Medeiros, which he won, by the way, and that was the stupidest draw I've ever seen in my life. You know, Markel gave him a good fight. But the one thing that kind of broke Markel down was that pressure, getting him on the inside, hitting him with body hooks, body shots in the clinch. And I think he'll be able to do the same to Nasrat. I mean, this is a coin flip fight, but I just don't feel comfortable trusting Nasrat after getting KO'd like that, especially when it can change his entire game plan. We know the same Taco Padilla we're going to get. We're going to get a pressure fighter that's willing to stand and bang anywhere in the octagon. Even if it hits the mat, I think he's technically sound enough to work his way back to his feet, or if he's on top, land really good ground and pound and keep it working. So I think Padilla by decision is a good bet. I don't know if he'll knock out Nasrat? I mean, he could, especially after that. But I think the Taco Padilla money line is good enough for me, especially at plus money. So that's what we're both rolling with here.
Both of us on the side of the underdog, Taco Padilla. I don't think we've ever picked against Padilla in the UFC, and I don't think that's going to change here at all. Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Shamil Gaziev. Chris, this is the toughest pick on the card for me, and it's really because neither side inspires a ton of confidence.
Yeah, I've flipped on this a few times. At first, I had Shamil, and then I had Kennedy, and then I had Shamil again. Shamil Gaziev is just a blob. Kind of reminds me of just like a crappier Rizvan Kuniev, if I'm being completely honest. He made a lot of his due with a really solid chin and kind of just swarming his opponents. Like he's a very solid, powerful striker. He likes to mix it up. I mean, go watch that Brando Pericic fight his last time out. They were swinging. I don't know how he ate some of those. But with Shamil coming off back-to-back knockout losses at 36, I feel like that chin is starting to fade. I really do. I'm going to take Kennedy here, tentatively. One, he is a pretty decent reach on him. He's about 5 inches, 4.5 inches. He has good power, pretty solid kicks for a heavyweight. But the one thing that scares me is Kennedy is just too tentative sometimes. He's a little bit gun shy. And against a guy like Gaziev, that can't happen. You need to throw hard, you need to throw fast. I think Kennedy is the faster striker in this. I think he's the more powerful striker in this. But if Shamil's able to make this just a gritty brawl, I can't really fully trust that Kennedy is going to be able to engage in that and be able to throw back what Gaziev's throwing at him, because Gaziev's going to move forward. Like, you can hit him with the kitchen sink and it'll break on his head and he'll keep coming at you. But I just feel like all the metrics and, Gaziev losing his past 2 fights by knockout, pretty bad knockouts. I feel like that's leading me to want to pick Kennedy, especially at plus money with a reach advantage. He's more athletic and he's more powerful. So I'm going to somewhat confidently take Kennedy Nzechukwu here. I'm going to take him by knockout. I think he makes it a 3rd knockout loss in a row for Shamil Gaziev. I'll check the prop right now. Kennedy Nzechukwu by knockout is plus 215. But if you're nervous about that, his money line is plus 120 as of right now. I think if Kennedy wins, I think it's by knockout. I think if Shamil wins, he can win by knockout as well. So we'll just take Kennedy Nzechukwu money line at plus money, and we'll stay with that.
I'm going to take Shamil Gaziev. Gaziev has real one-shot power and solid wrestling, smothering ability when he gets his hands on you, and he's got a 20-pound weight advantage to lean on early in this fight. The concern is his gas tank. Nzechukwu has the reach and southpaw angles to make him pay if Gaziev slows down, plus solid takedown defense, but I'm going to bet on Gaziev to smother and get this done before his cardio becomes an issue. But again, this is a really tough pick to make. I'm going to stay away from this one on the betting side. Just don't think there's anything that's worth it in such a coin flip fight where the odds don't really reflect it. But Shamil Gaziev is going to be my pick tentatively. Good chance to plug our Instagram at War Room MMA Pod. We post our final picks on our Instagram. So if anything changes between now and fight day, you'll be notified about that on our Instagram, because sometimes we gotta watch. And TikTok too. Same thing at War Room MMA Pod. So keep your eyes peeled to our socials, because after weigh-ins is when our final picks will go up. All right. I believe this is it's the featured prelim, Jamall Emmers versus Lerryan Douglas. I'm going to go Lerryan Douglas by KO. Douglas hits like a truck, a genuine puncher who will put you 6 feet under, training out of Cub Swanson's camp, lightning fast, heavy, close range combos. Emmers is solid for mid-range, decent wrestling, but he's shown a tendency to eat clean shots he shouldn't. You look at the knockout loss to Nate Landwehr, and he's stepping in against a completely different level of power than he's faced recently. I think Douglas he's going to find the finish in the first or second round. But I will say on the odds side of things, I think playing the round is going to be, your best bet. If you want Lerryan Douglas to win in round 2, let me see what that is. Should be in fight parlays.
Plus 500.
Yeah, Lerryan Douglas to win by KO in round 2 is plus 500. If you want something even better, Lerryan to win by KO in round 3 is plus 1,600. I think those are both worth the sprinkle. I think the finish will come in round 2, though. I'm going to say Lerryan gets it done, flatlines Jamall Emmers in the second round.
Yeah, I think Jamall Emmers will be a good test for Lerryan because he's decently tough on the feet. He himself does also possess one-punch knockout power, and we haven't really seen Lerryan grapple as much, but the grappling is definitely in Jamall Emmers' back pocket, and we saw him use it a lot against Hyder Emil, who's also a pretty dangerous striker. I believe he took him down 6 times, potentially 7 times, and if things get scary on the feet, you best believe that Jamall Emmers is going to be shooting takedowns to try and corral Lerryan Douglas. But Lerryan Douglas, dude, he lives up to the name Gunslinger. That dude is toting 2 pistols attached to his arms, and they just absolutely flatline people. He damn near killed Julian Erosa. Him and Marcio Barbosa have crazy power at featherweight, like lights out stellar power. And I like how you mentioned that Jamall Emmers, he eats shots that he shouldn't. He's a little bit defensively liable. Not even a little bit. He is pretty defensively liable, but he's willing to engage in those kind of all-out brawl / wars that, don't really suit him as a fighter. I think if he uses grappling a lot more, I think he'd be he'd definitely have a few more wins under his belt. But Lerryan is just so dangerous, man. And it's getting hard to bet against Cub Swanson's guys. It really is. Cub Swanson, man, he has something going on in that gym, and Cub Swanson was a great fighter in his own right as well. But yeah, I'm taking Lerryan. I'm taking him by... I do like round 2 knockout because I think Jamall's crafty enough to make it interesting in the first round and not make it easy, especially with this would be his 10th fight in the UFC. He does have that crafty veteran experience that, he's seen guys with crazy power before, and he's able to navigate it until I guess he's not. But Lerryan is dangerous, man. He will make you pay for one tiny mistake on the feet, and he is 100% the right side to be on here. So I'll also take Lerryan Douglas by round 2 KO just for the juice. But, round 1 is plus 110. So if you're feeling a little frisky and you think he's going to get it done early, it's still at plus money for you. So that is my pick.
Both of us on the side of Lerryan Douglas, the prospect to close out the prelims. As we go into the main card, make sure you like up the video if you can. It's a free action. It's the best way to support us. If you're still with us, make sure you hit that subscribe if you're enjoying what you're seeing, and turn on the post notifications as well. Our main card opener at heavyweight, Anthony Wint makes his UFC debut against Terrance Chatman. Chris, I know what side you're taking, but I will say Terrance Chatman is not that bad. I feel like he's getting a little overhated. Now, I don't know what you're seeing on your side of the tape study, but I don't think he's that bad at all.
Dude, I'm taking him to win the fight. I'll take him to win the first second of the fight. Not in the first second. He'll just win the first second because he'll still be alive. I'm taking Anthony Wint to slime out Terrance Chatman. But I do agree, though. I think he is getting a lot of hate. Well, one, this was booked to be an absolute layup for Anthony Wint. Like, let's call a spade a spade. This was not a fight that Terrance Chatman is, one, I believe, going to win, 2, supposed to win. But he is better than how he appears in the tape study. Like, I see it, but it's just, like, I see the potential. And he actually, like, doesn't have bad fight IQ. He actually, like, does it right. But I just don't think he's UFC caliber just yet. Like, I think he needs a little more time on the regional scene. He doesn't have that, like, overly raw power or athleticism to just kind of smoke people like Anthony Wint does. Like Anthony Wint isn't technical. Like he's just a mountain of a man with crazy power that if he charges you, you're scared and backing up. Like you're not going to hold the center of the octagon against him. But I don't think Terrance Chatman is really that bad. Like I think he's more of a, he relies more on his IQ than his actual physical abilities, which I think actually benefits him, just not in this fight. I think Wint, his athleticism, his raw athleticism, raw power is just off the charts. And I think he's going to steamroll him under half a round. I'm going to take him under half a round again. I took that on Contender Series. I'm taking it right now. I think this is an absolute layup for him. But Terrance Chatman, I think he could have a future in the UFC. It's just not. Saturday is not the night for him. I'll put it like that. And Wint in under half a round is plus 150.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
It's chalked up, man. It's completely chalked up. Chatman, he is a surprisingly athletic, fast-handed heavyweight, real power, some solid wins, including a one-shot KO of the only man to ever take Wint to a decision. But he's stepping in on short notice against a nuclear missile coming off a highlight reel Contender Series finish. Wint's speed advantage. I mean, the guy is going to be 30 pounds lighter. The explosive power. It's just a bad style matchup for a debuting heavyweight. I think Wint is going to close distance fast and get the finish in round one. I will also take Anthony Wint by KO. I'll probably be avoiding this one in terms of the betting side. No straights for me, no plays. I think you just let this one ride out. It's very, very chalky. It's not worth it.
You're not riding under half a round with me?
No, I never bet under half a round.
Bro, it literally hit last time.
Yeah, but like it's not gonna hit every time. I just don't feel like under half a round is ever like worth it.
The only person it hits for every time.
That's your bet. Like I'd feel like I'm treading on your territory if I take your bet.
Oh, thank you, bro. Yeah, Chris under half a round Schroyer.
That will
the only person that it hits every time for, or at least has, is Abdul Rahman Yakhyayev. That dude actually wins in under half a round every single time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you could bet the under. You could bet the. Can you bet the under quarter of a round for Abdul?
Dude, I bet first minute finish of Bilal Hassan. Honestly, dude, I might take it for Wint too. I might take that, and if I hit it, best believe I'm posting that on Instagram.
Do they have the odds on the first minute finish?
Yeah, they should. Let me see.
Is it in winning method?
Yes, I believe so.
It's not there.
Oh, no. Would it be... Oh, fight props. No. Round props?
Yeah, first minute finish. Yes is plus 350.
What? Dude, I guess that's what Bilal Hassan was, so, you know, I mean, I guess I'll take it, but like, bro, give me some more juice on that. It's going to be free. He's going to win in the first minute. I'm telling you.
He'll get it done, guys. I'm personally not going to play anything on that fight. I'm going to just let it ride out. All right. Up the card. Carli Judice versus Jeisla Chaves. We get to my favorite women's MMA prospect, Carli Judice. Judice is just a level above here. Chaves is a good boxer, but doesn't have the grappling or the defensive skill set to survive Judice's volume and doesn't want to test her chin against those kicks. I think Judice is going to control this from range, hurt Chaves to the body, either finish late or cruise to a clear decision. I'm going to say Carli Judice by decision, but she could get the finish. I think there is a chance she finishes this fight. But yeah, Carli Judice is a monster. I think she still has future champ potential. I've said it pretty much since she knocked out Nicole Cagliari. She had a tough fight against Miller last time, but she's still on the right track. I think she keeps it going with another great win here against Jeisla Chaves.
Yeah, I do too. I think Carli Judice wins here. Chaves, you know, she does have striking capabilities of her own, decently powerful punches. She's definitely going to be better on the ground, better in the wrestling department than Carli Judice. But I think Carli, hopefully she learned from her last fight. Getting her back taken in the first round by Juliana Miller. Getting up, I mean, her get up game is pretty solid. I will give her that. She's very quick to get up, get out of some scary positions. But her fight IQ it's good, but like some of the choices she makes has me gritting my teeth. Like she tried to wrestle Juliana Miller, and it's like, why are we doing that? You're better on the feet. Just tee off on her. I think she is the far and away clear advantage on the feet. She's a very solid striker, fast, accurate. She also kind of enters like those flow states, which is like what you really want to see from a striker, where it's just she's bobbing and weaving, picking her shots, and just trying to telegraph where you're going to be before you actually move there. I think she's better than Jeisla Chaves, and I think the line of -500 is a little inflated, but I think that goes to show how, or like what odds makers and people betting up Carli Judice think about her. I think Chaves is tough, and she could push this to decision. I'm going to take Carli by decision, but I would not be surprised if she was able to knock out Jeisla. But yeah, she's not going to give up. That's one thing I saw with Jeisla Chaves. She doesn't give up. She's going to give Carli a good fight, and she's really going to test her, not knockout ability, but just test her dog in there. And I'm going to bank on Carli Judice getting this one done, and not making it look easy, but pitching a mini shutout. We'll say pitching like a 6-inning scoreless shutout.
Judice to win and over 1.5 is -225. I really like that as a parlay piece. I think that's a very, very good line. So I think that would probably be my best bet here if you want to use that as a parlay piece. Judice to win and the over 1.5. But we're going to go Carli Judice by decision in this one. Up the card, Markel Medeiros versus Mason Jones. Chris, I think Markel Medeiros is underrated, and he could absolutely make round one competitive. From there, do you think he would take over, or do you think Mason Jones claws his way back into the fight as he always does?
I agree, because Markel Medeiros is a very good striker, very clinical on the feet. He also has power as well. He had a really good showing against Taco Padilla, but the one place that he faded, and I mentioned this in our Taco Padilla breakdown, was the pressure onslaught that Padilla was able to put on Medeiros, and that is literally Mason Jones personified. You could literally shoot Mason Jones, and he is going to keep moving forward. He makes every fight he's in a gritty, all-out war. And for a guy like Medeiros, who's calculated on the feet, he likes to pick his shots and, move around and not be a sitting duck. I don't think that's going to work well against a guy like Mason Jones, who is just going to keep crawling forward. Also is very good offensive wrestling. I think Medeiros' takedown defense is decent, but Mason Jones, he's really good everywhere. Like, he has bombs in his hands. He even though he gets cut up a lot, like, he just makes everything so gritty. Like, I feel like I'm not betting on, well, I am betting on skills, but I'm just betting on the dog that Mason Jones is. Like, dude, he's like, what's a good word? He's a word to Joe Rogan. He's a savage. Like, he literally is a savage beast in the octagon. He doesn't make anything easy for anyone. So yeah, I think Mason Jones, even if Markel does have success on the feet, I think the pressure is going to melt him. I think we see Mason Jones landing takedowns, some nasty ground and pound. And round one, like you said, could be a toss-up. We could see a really good round one from Markel Medeiros, but I think we're going to see an even better round 2 and 3 from Mason Jones, because he does not stop. Like, he does not stop moving. So yeah, I like Mason Jones. I like Mason Jones by decision, which I also believe is plus money. I think Markel Medeiros is good enough to take the fight all 3 rounds. Yeah, Mason Jones by decision is plus 125. I think that is a great prop. Or if you don't want to straight that and just want to play it safe, I think Mason Jones money line is also a great parlay piece. So yeah, I'm betting on the absolute savage beast in the octagon, Mason Jones.
Yeah, I think Mason Jones is a top 15 caliber fighter, straight up.
100%.
Like, I think he is going to be a ranked contender. Um, he's a relentless pressure fighter from every range, granite chin, heavy hands, real wrestling to fall back on. As Medeiros inevitably slows down trying to stick and move for 3 rounds, I think Jones's volume and physicality are going to take over in rounds 2 and 3 for the clear decision win. I am taking Mason Jones by decision, but I do think a ground and pound finish could be good here if he hurts Medeiros late. I could see a finish happening in round 3. So I wouldn't necessarily play Mason Jones by decision because I think there is a little bit of risk involved there, just based off how the fight script should go. I like as parlay pieces, specifically Medeiros and Jones over 2.5 at -200. I think that's a very solid parlay piece right there. Or the over 1.5 if you want something even safer at -360. Both of those work well in any parlay. I have those going in 2 separate lays. So that's going to be the pick. Play the rounds. Don't necessarily play the fighters because you could go Mason Jones by decision, and that will be my official pick. But there is some risk involved in that 3rd round. Watch out for a potential ground and pound finish in round 3. But both of us going with future contender Mason Jones. Up the card we go. Reinier de Ridder versus Roman Dolidze. De Ridder moving up to light heavyweight looks like a great decision. I'm going to go with RDR, and I'm going to say he gets it done by decision or submission. He's bigger, and his jiu-jitsu is a different tier than Dolidze's. Obviously, Dolidze has the ADCC pedigree, but I think RDR's jits is better. Once it hits MMA grappling, I think it's a big difference. Dolidze's striking is mostly blitzes and overhands with not much technical setup, which plays right into de Ridder's straighter, more educated boxing. I think we're going to see de Ridder smother him against the cage and either grind out a lopsided decision or find a submission late in this fight. I also put this one in my parlays, and I think the de Ridder money line is your best parlay piece here at -425. I've put that in 2 of my lays. So I'm going to say RDR money line. Put it in your lays. I think he's going to get it done in his light heavyweight debut, in Roman Dolidze's light heavyweight debut as well. But I think RDR moving up to light heavyweight is going to pay dividends for him.
Yeah, I do as well. I think 1, it'll fix his cardio problem. 2, I think he'll just look better physically. On fight night and on the scales, he did look drained. I mean, like, he's a pretty big guy. Cutting down a middleweight is definitely hard for him. So I think this change will definitely help him. Dolidze moving up to light heavyweight, I don't really get that move, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, I think, like you said, RDR has better MMA grappling. I think in terms of pure grappling, like Roman Dolidze, obviously his accomplishments are amazing. And, in just a pure grappling setting, I think I would take Roman Dolidze. But the one thing I'm looking for in this is Roman Dolidze. Like, he has powerful punches. Don't get me wrong. He has good power in his hands, and he likes to move forward. I think we're going to see a lot of step-in knees from him. The same thing that he gave Robert Whittaker trouble with. Someone moving in, just that lead step-in knee to the body, like, that hurts you. Like, that eats up a lot of gas in your tank. And, it makes you weary to want to close that distance, which Roman Dolidze likes to do. I think the Ridder, he's long, like, the reach advantage is only 2 inches, but like, he feels like a more lanky and longer than Dolidze is, even though they're almost relatively the same size. Like, I think he'll keep him at bay with the jab, but I'm telling you, that lead step in knee, that is the strike to look for in this matchup. I'm going to take RDR by decision. But like, I would not be surprised if he was able to finish Roman Dolidze. Roman's really tough, but in a 3-round fight, I'd lean towards more RDR by decision. But I think we're going to see a more refined Reinier de Ridder in this fight than we've seen in the past at middleweight. But yeah, this should be an interesting one. I want to see how both these guys look at light heavyweight. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this fight. I don't think it's too bad.
No, I really like this fight. I think this fight is going to be great. Up to our co-main event now. At heavyweight, Serghei Spivac versus Vitor Petrino. Chris, Petrino's takedown entries are definitely rough, and he can be sprawled if he shoots recklessly, but he's got the power, he's got the physicality. Those are the standout traits here for Petrino. Do you think it carries him to a win over Serghei Spivac?
Dude, this is tough. Another chance to plug our socials. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok when we make our final decisions on Saturday. Right now, I am leaning Serghei Spivac. Petrino has all the athletic advantages, very powerful, fast, strong, and that's pretty much how he won his fight against Steven Asplin. Like, he got dropped a few times in that fight, but it was just him relying on his athleticism to really carry him over the edge in that. With Spivac, I mean, Spivac has a pretty decent chin. He has decent striking as well, but he's a good grappler. Like, I think that if he's able to offensively grapple Vitor and not let him, not per se breathe, but just kind of push him up against the fence and make him grind and tire him out. Vitor is very muscular. When you have more muscle, you gas out easier. And a guy like Serghei, who likes to kind of wear and tear on his opponents and make it a 3-round fight, he's not necessarily like a knockout merchant, but he has heavyweight power. You can't deny that. But I'm also just trusting the veteran experience here. I preached that Vitor moving up to heavyweight was a great decision for him, because he looked like he was pretty gassed cutting the light heavyweight all those years. But Spivac's been in there with like the cream of the crop, man. I was very surprised in his last fight against Delia, and I think Delia is like maybe not like the athletic prowess, but like the type of fighter he is. I think his style and Vitor's style are very comparable in terms of just power punchers who like to pressure. And Spivac was able to deal with that pretty well. Now Vitor is a lot more athletic and he'll probably be able to, do some things that Delia wasn't, but Spivac looked pretty good in his last time out. So I'm going to take the underdog Serghei Spivac to get it done by decision and kind of just wear and tear on Vitor over 15 minutes. But I am not confident in this. I may change my pick. So look at the socials on Saturday. But right now, my current lean is Serghei Spivac to get it done.
I'm going Vitor Petrino by TKO. Spivac is a legit battle-tested veteran, real improvements to his boxing, a nasty top game, but he's shown a habit of getting rattled and shelling up against the fence once he starts eating clean shots and failing takedowns. If Petrino lands anything close to what he landed on Steven Asplund, I think he's going to hurt Spivac and finish him against the cage. So I'm going to say Vitor Petrino gets the finish here. Definitely a tough one to call, but I'm going to trust in the athleticism of Petrino here. This is one I would stay far away from.
Yeah, don't bet this fight.
I'm not laying money on Petrino at minus 150, nor do I really want to. So I'm probably just going to stay away here. This is one you can skip. Just enjoy it. Co-main event. But yeah, going to go Vitor Petrino. Keep an eye on the socials, but don't anticipate things changing there. We'll see. We go to our main event. If you're still with us, make sure you like the video. It's a free action. Best way to support us. Subscribe if you're new and turn on those post notifications while you're at it so you're always notified of a video or a stream. Anthony Hernandez taking on Gregory Rodrigues. I'm going to go Anthony Hernandez by sub in the championship rounds, or the later rounds in this case. We're not fighting for a belt. Robocop's power is legit terrifying. A one-shot finisher who can end the fight anytime he gets his hands going. And Hernandez's body is a known weak point. You look at the Strickland fight. You look at the Kevin Holland fight. But this is 5 rounds, not 3. And Robocop has a track record of fading hard once wrestling and pace get introduced. Hernandez has elite cardio and has specifically been training with Sean Strickland since that loss. I think Hernandez is going to survive the early storm, start landing counters, find a finish by ground and pound or a late submission on a fatigued Robocop. My best bet for this fight here, we'll go over to winning method on DK. I'm going to take, or sorry, not winning method. We're going to go to fight parlays. Anthony Hernandez to win and the over 1.5 is minus 120. I will be hammering that line. If you're going to take Anthony Hernandez to win, it's going to be later in the fight. If Robocop wins, it would have been in round 1. The longer the fight goes on, the more it favors Fluffy. I'm going to say Fluffy gets it done over Robocop. I think he finishes him in rounds 4 or 5.
Yeah, this is a tough one to call. Because if I hope Robocop was watching both of Fluffy Hernandez's 2 losses and knows that he has to hit him in the body to win. But I'm not going to bank on that. I also somewhat reluctantly agree that Anthony Fluffy Hernandez is going to get this one done. Robocop, albeit, he's a mountain of a man. That dude is chiseled out of stone. He hits like a Mack truck. But we saw it against Jared Cannonier. He faded really bad and opened the door for Jared Cannonier to win that fight. And if there is a fighter at middleweight that can make you fade pretty fast, it is Anthony Fluffy Hernandez with the pace and pressure that he puts on each one of his opponents. Obviously, Sean Strickland got it done via body shot TKO. And Sean Strickland is just an interesting guy that you really just can't pressure. You can't speed him up. Strickland just knows how to fight at his own pace, and I think that's one of his best attributes. But Robocop, you can wear him down. If you're able to bait him into certain situations and have him overextend and really just throw everything into each shot, which he does normally, I think Fluffy will just be able to work his game plan. And Fluffy's takedowns are very good. As you can see, he's averaging damn near 6 takedowns per 15 minutes, which is absolutely wild. But Robocop has good judo, good BJJ as well. BJJ black belt. Like this guy is not a scrub on the ground. But that's just because Hernandez incorporates wrestling doesn't mean that it's going to become a grappling match. Hernandez is, when he gets into his flow state, he is very hard to, 1, put away, and 2, just kind of corral. So yeah, I'm going to reluctantly take Anthony Hernandez in this fight. I think, as Shrikar also mentioned, it will be done in the later stages of the fight, if not decision. I don't think it's going to go to decision. I think it's Robocop knockout early or Anthony Hernandez finish in rounds 3, 4, or 5. I think that's really the only route that I see this fight going. I do not see this hitting the judges' scorecards.
100%. And that's the card, folks. We are very excited for UFC Sacramento. Let us know in the comments if you're riding Fluffy with the both of us, or if you think Robocop gets it done by KO and hurts the body of Fluffy Hernandez. And let us know who you got in that co-main event too. We're pretty split on it, but yeah, I'm going Petrino. He's going Spivac. We'll see if things change. Go follow the socials, especially our Instagram and TikTok at War Room MMA Pod. We're going to be breaking down the full fight card. I'll kind of just be putting all my reactions on the story on fight day. So it should be a lot of fun there. And also our final picks will go up on our Instagram and TikTok as well. But we will have a full recap stream on Sunday. It'll be late. It'll be late night. We are the kings of the late night, as you may or may not know. So be prepared for that. We'll probably go live around 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 Central. So be there or be square. But yeah, it should be a fun time. And yeah, for Chris and Shrikar, we are signing out of the War Room. We will see you guys on Sunday very, very soon. Peace.